Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would do my second year roundup today. I did one of these last year with my best friend Megan, who is also my housemate. I will leave that down below in case you wanted to compare my experiences properly from first to second year. I've got a couple of questions that you guys have asked which I will probably be answering throughout, like subconsciously, and then at the end I'm going to go through them, double check that I've answered all of your questions to do with the transition from first to second year and like just specific questions that sort of compare first and second year in all different aspects of my life. So yeah, let's get on with it. I think the first thing probably that I should start with is accommodation. So if those of you who don't watch my vlogs, I pretty much film every single day of my uni life. My vlog channel's in the link in the description down below if you do want to go over and subscribe there and maybe watch my videos. I have a whole uni vlogs playlist, so if you ever want to have my videos on in the background or whatever, just watching my uni day-to-day life, then that's where it is. You may have seen that I moved from halls to my first ever house with my two best friends. It's literally been like an absolute dream living with them. It's been 100% better than halls. I did love halls. I feel like living in halls, which for those is also sort of like dormitories if you're American, basically where you stay at university that's actually usually the uni property or some sort of like property that work alongside the uni to house students in their first year, and then usually you move in the UK to your own house if you are sort of like taking the sort of like generic pathway when you're at uni. And I have taken that pathway. I went from halls, I was living in Lincoln Courts. If you're from Lincoln or if you're looking to go to Lincoln, I absolutely highly recommend it. I speak about that all in my first year video, so you can go check that out. But I really recommend living there. I think it's great for the cost. It's one of the cheapest places to live. You still get your own bathroom. You have quite a few flatmates, so there's more chance of you getting on with someone. So yeah, I definitely recommend going to live in halls for first year because it's such a great experience. It is very different, very weird, very strange, especially looking back at it. It's just crazy that you're just like shoved into this place with loads of strangers and then you make all these different connections with people. But yeah, moving into a house has been 100% better. I felt so much more comfortable, like just being with my two best mates. The only issue I think probably is that we're paying a lot more because you have to pay throughout the whole of summer, which is an issue, but that's usually what happens. Landlords mug students off. It's just sort of like a given that your money just gets drained and drained from you whilst you're a student, but that's okay. And the other thing is that we're way further away from the university, not significantly, like it's probably like a 20-minute walk, which is not that bad, 15-20 minutes. But yeah, we're a little bit further away. In halls, I was probably 2 minutes from the main sort of uni buildings. It probably took me maximum 10 minutes to get to like the furthest uni building from my accommodation. However, living in a house is like 20 minutes. I usually leave about half an hour from my house before a lecture. So obviously you have to like prepare a lot more, wake up a bit earlier, which can be a very big struggle as a student. So that's probably like the only real proper downside of it. Everything else is amazing. I love living with my best friends. We have a lot more space for us, if you know what I mean, so we don't have to sort of like seclude ourselves in our rooms, because I felt like I did that a lot in halls. Like I was in my room more than any other place and it was quite isolating and quite like I just felt quite trapped a lot of the time because I didn't really have many places that I could go and feel like comfortable, because obviously I'm still living with strangers essentially. Like even though it was a year, I didn't speak to some of my I didn't actually speak to some of the people who I lived with because they kept themselves to themselves, and although that's fine, like if you're just at uni for the education then that's completely okay, but it just made me feel a little bit uncomfortable, like if I wanted to just chill in the kitchen on my own, like I don't know, it was just weird interactions. So it's definitely been better. Hello Angel. So yeah, I definitely like that I'm in a house. My room is so much better because I've just got like a lot of space for all of my bits and pieces that I have, especially like all my YouTube and vlog stuff. It's just great, to be honest, like living with my best mates. That's most of what I can say really for accommodation. I've got lots of videos of us like moving in if you want to see those. They're all on my vlog channel. But yeah, it's been just such a great year living with my best mates, and we're living in the same house again for third year because we've loved it so much. Yeah, all is good. And then moving on to education wise at uni, the content is so much harder. Like it's been such a huge jump. I'd say the jump is even bigger from like GCSEs to A-levels. That was a huge jump. I remember being like literally swarmed in work when I moved from GCSEs to A-levels. I didn't know what to do. I was just so overwhelmed. It is probably that times 2, and I don't want to scare anyone off because like if I've done it, you all can do it too. The workload is just ridiculously high. and the content is a lot more difficult, which has been quite a struggle at times, but I've got through it. Everyone can get through it, we've all done it. So yeah, I don't know, I just I don't want to, like, I want to cut the bullshit, you know, like, I don't want to sugarcoat anything. Like, I've definitely found second year a lot harder mentally, as well as doing all this, like, work-wise. I've just struggled a lot mentally, especially towards the beginning of the year. Then I became okay sort of towards the second half of second year. I went through a little, like, mental health blip in December, and I've overcome that now as much as I can, to be honest, and I've been doing great. But I just felt a lot more pressure because there was all of this stuff. Like, we've got our own house now. At, like, halls, you still sort of had other people to rely on. There was, like, maintenance people that would come in if there was a problem. There was just lots of bits and pieces going on that helped you out when you're in halls, but it feels like you're really fending for yourself when you move to a house. So I think there was a lot more, like, pressure on my mental health and, like, my emotions. So I definitely went through a difficult time, but other people have done it fine. It's just I'm quite, like, a sensitive person, and I've been through a lot, so sometimes bits and pieces like that can, like, trigger things. However, I've got through it again. The workload is just a big step, but if you're working harder and you're keeping up with the workload, then you'll be absolutely fine. Like, honestly, it's nothing to worry about at all. Of course, second year is going to be harder than first year because you're progressing in your degree. Like, it's obvious that that's going to happen, but yeah, that's what I've got to say for, like, education wise. I feel like I made a lot more friends in second year because I sort of, like, socialised a lot more. I did start a society, however it became a little bit too much for me because I had a lot of stuff going on. Like, it's hard when I'm managing all my social media stuff, I'm doing uni work, and then trying to do a society that, like, takes up at least 12 hours of my week. It's just quite intense, so I thought that it would be better, especially if I want to complete my degree with a good class, good honours, then I would definitely have to drop that society, unfortunately. But it was an amazing experience for my first semester, and I'd highly recommend joining a society if you have that extra time. If I wasn't doing my blog and YouTube stuff, I would have definitely kept it up because I would have had that spare time, but this is one of my biggest passions, like making videos and creating content online, so I didn't want to stop that, and I'm just glad I did it, to be honest. Like, I still had one whole semester, I did a showcase, it was great, but I just felt like it wasn't probably the best timing for me with all the stuff going on. So yeah, I definitely recommend joining a society because that's definitely helped me out. I wish I'd have joined one in first year because your grades essentially don't count in first year at all, so I wish I'd have probably put more time into musical theatre and things like that. I also joined the Peace of Mind Society, which is dedicated to mental health, and they do, like, really sporadic, like, meetings. They're non-compulsory, it's just really chilled, it's just exactly what you want if you're going through a difficult time. Like, we carved pumpkins, just had a really chilled time, like eating sweets and stuff in October. I haven't managed to go to a lot of the recent meetings just because I had exams and lots of coursework deadlines, but that was a great society. That's just, I like a super chilled thing that I don't have to, like, always turn up to. Not that I can't be committed, because I'm a very committed person, it's just with all the other uni stress and bits and pieces, it can be hard to, like, balance that. So that's what I found for me. I'm going to answer some questions now because I feel like I'm going off tangent and I want some more structure. Someone's asked, what's the difference in social life between first and second year? So social life wise, I feel like I have socialised more because I've become more independent and confident as a person. Like, I feel more happy to approach people than I did in first year because I was a little bit more shy and reserved. I feel like I could meet up with anyone and I'd be absolutely fine, like, I wouldn't be nervous. Yeah, I don't know, I just find it a lot better now that I have moved out of my comfort zone and I'm okay, like, meeting up with new people and stuff. Like, I've been given a lot more opportunities, and I feel like joining societies has obviously opened up to more socialising. So I don't think it changes, it just depends how you are as a person and how you adapt to that change. Freshers Week is definitely the best, like, point to make friends because everyone is so, like, friendly and over the top and everyone's trying to get to know each other. So if in second year, it's probably even better because you sort of know what's going on. You can probably approach first years, become mates with them. But yeah, I don't think social life changes that much. If you're a going out person, you'll of course make time to go out at the weekends or student night or whatever. I'm personally not someone who goes out regularly just because I like spending my money on, like, clothes and shit, like, that's just me. But yeah, social life doesn't change if you just balance your time well and you're making sure that you've got enough time to do all your uni work, your coursework, revise and stuff, as well as doing all, like, the partying and stuff. Someone said, did you enjoy this year more than first year? I'd say yes, Although I did find it difficult at the start, I feel like I've definitely enjoyed it more, and I think that comes down to living with my best mates. What was the step up like from first year? Crazy, like I was saying, the workload is a lot and I was a bit worried about it. But yeah, you sort of get through it. You sort of get to this point in the year, like I finished second year, I'm like, whoa, how did that happen? How did I get through it? But I'm so proud of myself that I like stuck it out and powered through. There were so many times where I felt like giving up, but I just kept going because I knew I would be so thankful that I did and didn't like stop and just, yeah, I don't know. I just think it is a massive step, but it's nothing to be worried about because you can do it. So I have a question saying, what was your sleep, social life and grades like? How did you balance all three? Congratulations for completing second year. Thank you very much. So, okay, so how did I balance sleep, social life, grades? Sleep is the most important thing, and I found it so difficult to balance. That's why my mental health went downhill, because I wasn't sleeping very well. I was going through a really difficult time. And it stopped me from sleeping and having a regular sleep pattern, and that's what sort of made me a lot more on edge, anxious, panicky. I couldn't leave the house. It was just a very bad time. So sleep, I think, is your top priority over social life, over uni work. Sleeping is your priority. As long as you get like a good healthy 8 hours of sleep every night, you'll be absolutely fine. Just try and aim for that. I know there's like several apps you can use to monitor your sleep and try and make sure you're having the right amount of sleep. Obviously there are times where you won't get that amount of sleep. Like it's not, you shouldn't like hate yourself for it, because I literally lack so much sleep still. Yeah, if you can try and get that 8 hours, that's a great way to sort of structure your day and balance your life. And then in terms of social life and grades, it depends what you view as more important. Like I value my degree more than my social life, even though it is sometimes hard to like say no when you want to go out or meet some people. I value my grades a lot, so I would put my uni work first. Maybe like make a little schedule if you're like me and like structure in your life and like organisation. Then say like I'm going to spend 4 hours today on uni work, and then the rest of my time is my own. I can choose whether I socialise in that time, play some game or something, or whatever you do in your spare time. I usually up that time when it gets to like exams or I've got an assignment coming up and the deadline's looming. I will obviously put like 6 hours a day or 7-8 hours a day into doing work. But yeah, I definitely say balancing all three for me. I would structure my day like accordingly. But if you're more of a person who doesn't like planning stuff, I don't know how that would work for you, but that's sort of what I would do with my mindset, if you know what I mean. Oh, how have you made friends in second year? Societies, like I was saying, definitely join societies if you want to make friends. There's basically something for everyone. You'll definitely find a society for you, and again, that's a great way of making friends because you're meeting like-minded people, you'll get chatting, and it'll be great fun. How many people move out of accommodation compared to staying? A lot of the places at my uni actually like kick students out after first year, so you actually can't stay in there unless you're a first year student. So we like sort of were forced to. I could have gone to another accommodation. I know Pavilions, Gateway and the Junction, you can stay there for second and third year, but I just sort of wanted to move into a house. I thought it would be a good experience for me. You can stay in accommodation, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's going to be easy for you and what you're doing, then definitely stay in accommodation. But yeah, you don't have to follow the crowd. A lot of people do move into a house just because that's sort of like the path you're sort of like forced down, but you can stay in accommodation if you want. There's no issues with that, and I'm sure the uni will help you in doing so. Do you prefer living in your shared house or living in halls? House all the way. Has your friendship group changed since first year? No, not at all. I have my two solid friends who I live with, Megan and Hattie, and then I have Carrie and Amy. Carrie's currently living in her own house with her boyfriend because she finished uni last year, and I meet up with her all the time. And then my friend Amy's just finished third year and I met up with her. None of my friendships have changed. Like, I'm still friends with all the people that I was and have always been close with and knew that I would stay friends with. So yeah, friendship groups haven't changed and life is good. Do people go out as much as first year? I've probably gone out more in second year than I did in first year, to be honest. I've sort of like pushed myself out there a bit more. I think it just differs from person to person, like I said. If you want to make time for going out, then you will. Tenancy agreements. Just make sure you check all the small print. Make sure you read through all your contracts and stuff if you're moving into a house. It should be fine. Just if the money's extortionate, then it's probably okay because that's what everywhere's like. But yeah, tenancy agreements, just make sure you're reading the small print and research into it a lot more because you could end up with like a really dodgy agent or something. So that's my advice. That's my only advice for that. I'm not really good at that sort of thing. Any regrets or things you'd have done differently? I wish I'd have got into a routine more starting in September. I wish I'd have probably gone out like more nights in Freshers Week, because then weeks that week is the funnest week ever. I have so many memories from Freshers, and I just wish I go out every night and just forced myself, to be honest, because I end up like always laughing about things that have happened and always have the best nights at Freshers. So yeah, I'd definitely go out more during that week because it's literally so fun. Was it difficult to budget and live off student loan? Definitely more so this year for me, because I was paying a lot more for a longer period of time, so it does get to a lot. Yeah, it was a more of a struggle and difficult to budget, but it can be done. Like, it just depends on what loan you're getting and what house. Like, some people are paying way less than halls, so yeah, it sort of depends. It's very situational depending on where you're living. The difference in rough living costs between halls and a house, like, this is very different, but for me, I'm just going to be open, I'm paying £475 a month, which is ridiculous for what I'm getting, but what can you do? Yeah, I'm paying £475 personally, which I know is a lot. Some people are only paying £400 a month, some people are paying £300 a month. It just depends what your contract says, but that's how much I'm paying. I paid slightly more in halls, but because I have to pay all over summer, then it obviously constitutes to more money overall. So yeah, that's what my living cost situation was. But yeah, I hope that has helped. That was my little second year sum up. I hope you have enjoyed listening to this video, and I hope it's helped some of you guys out. Make sure to comment down below if there's something that you wanted to know that I didn't cover in this video. I would love to know and have a chat with you all. Have you finished first year? Have you graduated? Are you moving up to first year this year? I'd love to know. Make sure to hit the thumbs up if you've enjoyed. Subscribe down below if you're new, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye.